Hey, welcome back to another episode of Answer Wrong Podcast. I'm your host, Juan, and as always, my co-host is here with me. Hey, Trip.
Howdy.
How you doing, man?
I'm okay, I guess.
We sure are. We're all okay.
Fortunately, we're okay. We're safe. Huge fire is going on our side of the country.
Yeah, literally like the town over, or what was the town over.
Mm-hmm.
People
Just
may
destroyed.
have heard of it. The Camp Fire, has struck Northern California, and it is pretty fucked. The last few days have been super rough on everybody, especially on people who have been evacuated from Paradise. A lot of people lost their homes. Oh, almost everybody's lost their home.
It's true. Not to change up too much, but this week we're talking about Red Turtle, which is
smooth, real smooth.
There's not really a good transition because we're going to talk about the fire thing for like a hot minute here.
Yeah.
Since it's kind of
important.
It's really big.
Yeah, so we're talking about Red Turtle, which is a movie done with like Studio Ghibli and some other people.
Ghibli, yeah, but it was like a French Canadian.
Mm-hmm. It's something that came out a while ago, but we just got around to watching it because we needed a topic for the show.
Yeah, and this week's episode we're featuring Jenny the cat.
Yeah, Jenny's in here because we'll explain why she's here. She shouldn't be here. I fucking hate cats. I'm allergic to them, so I can't.
I know it's the big suck, but what can you do, man? Yeah. She does not get along with other cats, and my dad is staying with me because his house does not have power due to the fire. Mm-hmm. Fortunately, it was saved. His neighbor's house was burnt to the ground, but everyone else in his neighborhood happens to be okay. Mm-hmm. So he's staying with me. His cats are staying with us, and this little fucker, Jenny, is just chilling in my room like she always does. But this time she has to stay in here, so she's mad about it.
Yeah, she's like all over the place. She's going nuts.
She's a little wild fucking cat.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's been nuts here with the fire. When it first happened, my sister is visiting. She's she's been in the Bay Area, but she's visiting up in Paradise. And then the fire started, and she was over at my grandma's. She normally stays over at my grandma's whenever she comes to town. And then they had to evacuate really quickly. So luckily, they got out of there, and they had to drive through a bunch of fire. It was on both sides of their cars as they were driving down.
Super spooky.
And they're calling my mom and being like, hey, we were just told to evacuate. Just wanted to make sure that you're going to evacuate too. And my mom was like, okay, I don't know, whatever. And she heads out, and then she's stuck and she can't get into traffic or anything. But at this point, the fire hasn't gotten to her. So she has no idea just the scope of
how important
what's happening. Yeah. She doesn't realize that the entire town's about to be destroyed.
That it's super fucking serious.
Yeah. Because just the day before, PG&E was sending out warnings like, hey guys, you might lose power. There's going to be crazy wind. Mm-hmm. So there's a good chance you'll lose power. Well, the campfire started, and that crazy wind sure was doing its thing, and it destroyed the whole town. So my mom's sitting in traffic, doesn't realize what's happening. She's like, fuck it, I'm just going to go back home and eat some food since I didn't eat. This is going to take forever. So she fucking turns around after 30 minutes of sitting there.
Big no.
She eats, and she grabs a couple more things, and she heads out again.
Grabs the dogs, right? Yeah.
She got all 4 dogs.
She had 4 dogs?
Yeah, she has my great-grandpa's because he died. She adopted that dog. Rosemary adopted her family's dogs a while ago. Mm-hmm. So they've got one of those is still alive. So there are 2 dogs. And then my mom already had 2 dogs. So
wow, that's a lot of dogs.
They've got 4 dogs. She wasn't able to grab any of the cats. So she just left the doors open and we're hoping for the best.
Yeah, because the house is gone for sure.
The house was confirmed destroyed yesterday. We got a picture. It's just flat. The 2-story house is just flat. Yeah. There's nothing there. It's insane. But yeah, fortunately, she made it out fine. She had to drive around some flaming logs in the road and over some power lines that people were just like, it's fine. They're disconnected. There's nothing bad. Just run over them. But it's still scary as fuck to drive over power lines, right? And just fire everywhere. But, of course, when she's trying to get out of there, no fire at all around, just a bunch of traffic.
Yeah.
And then suddenly she's in the middle of fire and they're just cinders blowing in the air and across the road. And lots of people died. Lots of people lost their pets and their homes and lots of stuff.
Yeah.
Fortunately for us, we weren't affected.
No, like we're okay. We're, a city. It's like a city over. The worst thing of it all is like, the air is really bad to breathe right now.
Yeah, it's like dangerous to be outside.
Yeah, they keep stressing that like we need to be careful with what we, being outside. I fortunately don't go outside very often.
Yeah. Well, I mean, normally with my line of work, I'll go outside a lot, but the first day that the fire was happening and I was at work all day and the day after the fire happened, I guess. I was at work all day and that was when it was the most smoky in town. So we just had masks and we were going out with those and we had to do a lot of stuff, a lot of emergency things in order to make sure that we can get these sheriffs into apartments because we're housing a lot of sheriffs that lost their homes. So we had to do certain stuff. Like we had to go to the apartments that weren't fully cleaned. The carpets hadn't been cleaned yet, which is a pretty big deal. We always clean the carpets. And we had to just move them into these like pretty fucked up carpet apartments just because that's what we fucking had to do.
Well, that's better than no place to stay.
Exactly. So, yeah. But we had to, we normally wait for the carpets to be done and then we'll go and we'll assess the apartment and be like, all right, these are the flaws that are in it still. And instead it was just like, come on in. The carpet was all fucked when you got here. So like, cool, that's on your little thing and everything else is dope. So yeah, I had to go around a whole bunch that day. So I was just fucking worried about the air quality affecting me.
Yeah, for sure. The air quality is an issue. I mean, it smells really bad out here. It smells like something burned down, and a lot of it did. And that's the only thing I'm really worried about. Just like, I'm trying not to be outside or breathe too much of that shit. I try to get some masks, but they're kind of hard to come by just because like they're getting sold out everywhere.
Yeah,
they keep getting new shipments. I ordered some. They should be in tomorrow, which is good. Just good to have. But because, God knows how long the smoke will be around because the fire technically is still going.
They anticipate 2 more weeks is going to be like the worst of it. As far as the air quality, but we're about 3 or so hours away from the Bay Area and they have shut down school for a couple of weeks because of the air quality.
Yeah, it's really bad. And, so this is 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks from now, I was supposed to have my Thanksgiving break, but now I have 2 weeks of break because they just canceled school. I don't know what the ramifications are that. I'm assuming that we're going to have a week longer in December just because.
Maybe.
I think we have to. I think technically we're supposed to be there for a certain amount of hours for it to count as a semester, kind of like in high school, like, whereas like you need to do these many days or whatever. So I think they might make us stay another week, which is fine. I don't think it's wrong.
Okay. I think wouldn't that run into like Christmas time? Wouldn't people have huge fucking problems?
It would be a week before Christmas actually. Like,
okay. Then that's fine. That's pretty normal.
Because school ends like, I think that like the first week of December, or like beginning of the second. So, we just have to add some time. Maybe they don't. Maybe they just say, hey, just fucking chalk it up to a loss or whatever. Yeah, who knows? I still have, homework and stuff I need to be working on. And so, my life hasn't really changed all that much, which is,
that's fortunate.
Pretty fortunate because a lot of people have lost a lot of stuff and, they don't have homes and, all the places here in town that you'd think would be full. Like churches are full.
Yeah.
The Elks Lodge is full. Yeah. Walmart parking lot's full. Like people are just trying to find a place to, live and, fucking, it's super sad. I know that my parents own a food truck and restaurant here in town and they went to the Elks Lodge and just gave away a bunch of food.
Yeah.
Because like, well, what the fuck, I know it's funny because like some guy came up to him and was like, hey, you can't come in here and sell food. My dad's like, yeah, no shit. I'm not going to sell food to these people.
Are you kidding me? I'm giving
it away. Like, and the guy's like, oh, okay, well, then that's fine. I was like, who
are you?
Who would have the balls to show up to a place and be like, oh, is this a tragedy? Okay, cool. Time to fucking jack up the prices and sell food. It's like, no, it's just like, here, you don't have a kitchen. You don't have that luxury of going to the refrigerator. So here's some free food.
Well, people are apparently taking advantage and doing what they always do and looting places. Yeah. And I guess there was a looter that was caught in my dad's neighborhood.
Really?
Yeah.
Your dad's a nice neighborhood. I'd loot there. I would loot so hard. Like, I would loot crate the shit out of that place.
It was me. I was looting.
This episode sponsored by Loot Crate.
Yeah, good segue. And then there are people that dressed up as firemen.
This is one that you told me that blew my mind.
They dressed up as firefighters. They like somehow got a couple of firefighter jackets or something like that. And then they went to the hotel that all these firefighters are staying at.
And you know which one it is because it has like all the fire trucks out front.
Yeah, exactly. And they they were somehow able to get access to these different rooms and went and stole a bunch of firefighter shit, dude.
I can imagine, because like, first of all, who would first think if someone would do something as horrible as lie about something like that, especially during this horrible tragedy?
Oh, it's so fucked.
I can imagine them going to the front desk, like, hey, I lost my keys to these rooms or firefighter rooms. Like, oh, here you go. And like,
so easy, right?
Who's going to question a firefighter? Who's going to be like, you're right?
Oh, definitely not.
You're like, can I see some ID or whatever? They're going to be like, oh, yes, Mr. Firefighter, come through or whatever.
What a fucking shitty opportunist.
Yeah, so it's super fucked. I feel really bad because those people are here to help. There's people from all over the country here coming to give aid, not just like in the firefighter, but like
Guy Fieri showed up to give away free food and
piece
stuff.
Piece of shit doesn't like eggs.
Whoa, okay.
I'll give you. We were arguing about this because we bring this up all the time. Guy Fieri doesn't like eggs, and that means I don't like Guy Fieri because fucking eggs are the best.
Eggs are the shit, dude.
I love eggs.
You throw an egg on ramen, oh baby! Instagram podcast. We finally tied it together.
So many good things are made with eggs, and the fact that he doesn't like them, he's one of those cook. He's a cook guy, right? Whatever. Like he's a food connoisseur.
He doesn't like the texture or whatever.
It makes me not trust anything he says anymore. But
dude, I know.
Look, I'm gonna for right now. There's gonna be, there's peacetime between me and Guy Fieri.
So you know what, man?
You're a cool guy.
We're cool. Yeah, we're fine.
He came through. He helped give food.
You a homie, but like,
I'll have you know, once this fire clears out and the fucking smoke's clear, fucking war's back on, motherfucker. Not like an egg, motherfucker. I'll fuck you up. Why are we so mad at Guy Fieri?
Yeah, he's fine, dude. He's chill as fuck, dog.
I guess, yeah.
What's the D&D thing? Like diners and dungeons and dragons and dives, or it was like a whole thing. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like Dungeons and Dragons and diners, dives, and I don't know,
drive-ins and
dives, I don't know.
Love it.
Yeah, so
classic. Love that motherfucker.
So we're just trying to do our best, to just kind of get through this. I mean, it's kind of one of those things where like you kind of see where your community is, and our community's been super supportive of all the people who have lost their homes, and we know eventually, things will, fix themselves. I mean, like the fire will eventually be put out, and people will be able to go see paradise. I don't think people will be able to live because there's not left, a lot of stuff left over. But time moves on, and people will either stay around or find different places to live, or eventually rebuild. And so all we can do is just hope. Everything works out and this gets taken care of. That being said, there's some people out there being real assholes about the fire. Like fucking Trump posted some bullshit about the fire.
What the fuck was that aggressive shit? It was like victim blaming.
It was like the day after the fire, he tweeted out, because he's a fucking douchebag. Yeah. He tweeted out some shit saying like, you know what, like this fire wouldn't happened if you guys would have taken care of the forest fires like you're supposed to. It's like, if you keep this shit up, we're not going to give you any more federal funding.
Right. And it was just like, okay, motherfucker. You know that this was like if you look at the history of it, we already had warning it was going to be fucking insane winds.
Yeah.
Like PG&E was like, oh fuck, we got to do some damage control before anything happens. And then a fire broke out and there's just nothing. The thing people were not ready for a fire to happen.
It's like, imagine it being like, say it was a hurricane. You can't imagine the president being like, well, it's your fault the hurricane happened. It's a natural disaster. Right. It's something that we know that just happens, and we can do our best to stop it. But when a fucking like a fiery inferno with the help of Mother Nature and all, there's no water, it's super dry, the winds, it's a perfect concoction to make it horrible. Happens, and your solution is to be, it's your guys' fault.
And they're still investigating. Yeah, they're still investigating the cause of it and everything, which honestly, it doesn't, like, I hope people don't change their opinion on like how they want to react to this based on the cause, because no matter what happened, like, it sucks. It was unpreventable. Like,
it sucks. And it was like the day after this shit happened. And I mean, I've come to the point where I say, Trump is the president, and I don't really like what he does or stands for, but it's okay. Like he's doing what he's supposed to do, right? And I just kind of try to pay him no mind. But that really pissed me the fuck off. I was like, because it's like we're so close to it, and for him to be like, and we're seeing it firsthand, and for him not to say some shit, to say shit like that, to be like, where you could be like, dude, if you want to blame someone later. Why don't you just be like, our condolences, this is a natural disaster.
Yeah.
Let's try to help him out. No,
at that point, it was already declared a state of emergency. And then after that, we got like FEMA and stuff sent over to help us out.
And the Red Cross showed up, right?
Exactly.
And so that was just super frustrating. I mean, eventually he like tweeted something else, but the point is, he already tweeted the first one. Kind of hurts. And it already hurts.
Well, Cal Fire immediately came back and was like, fuck you, dude. Are you fucking kidding me? Essentially said that, but a little bit nicer, and said some, I don't know, they threw an insult in there and was like, I mean, you didn't really need to do that, but like people loved it because so many lives have been affected by this.
I know people have lost their lives. You know, the golf, and we were looking. There's like, I think it was 29 confirmed right now, right?
Yeah, I think it's gone up to like 40 some.
Yeah, we saw that. I saw that earlier. But you know what? It's not done yet. It's not over. So
it's still crazy.
There's plenty of people who are missing. So all said and done, there might be way more people who've passed away because of this. And to say some shit like that, super fucking shady. Yeah. So that's fucked.
There are more victims to this than there were for any of the hurricanes that had happened, is what I heard. Yeah. I don't know if that's true or not, but somebody had put out that stat, and I'm like, what the fuck? That's insane to imagine that, you know?
I mean, there's also like, there's a fire going on down south also, like in Southern California, and that's super shitty. You know, it's just fucking fire season everywhere. Apparently, and it's super bad.
Which, it's November. How is it fire season?
I don't fucking know. It's just the perfect, I mean,
it really is though.
It's just the perfect concoction of everything.
It's been so dry. There's been like no rain on this side of the country, and we're just
hoping for, just praying for rain. Yeah. So look, man, we're trying to do our best and keep our spirits up. And
hey, did you one thing before we segue into something else? The East Coast is getting the smoke from us now.
No shit.
It's gone all the way to the East Coast.
Wow.
So this is a whole could you imagine that? A whole country is just covered with the smoke from this whole town being destroyed.
That's nuts, man.
And I mean, it's spread more than just one town. You know, it's going over to another one.
Yeah.
They said that it destroyed the town above Paradise, but
Magalia,
it didn't.
Right?
It didn't though.
Oh, okay.
Parts of it are still fine. Like I think most of Magalia is fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're just all different kinds of things. Really, the best part about this is seeing the community come together and showing that in the face of adversity, we can still hold it together, even though there's like a lot of negativity that surrounds it. There's so much positivity coming from people.
Yeah, it's so crazy to think that like, because you know, I personally wasn't affected by it. You know, like I had nothing. I technically didn't lose anything in the fire.
None of your family was affected. Family was there, but you were pretty lucky.
But it's super crazy, like just to imagine, like but because we're such a tight knit community, it's just like, you know, so many people who have been affected by it. Like, you know, I know your family was affected by it. Like I have, you know, employees and their families affected by it. You know, like it's just like,
hey, you go to Taj.
Yeah.
Their family's affected by it.
Yeah, no, everywhere you go. And so like everybody's talking about it, everybody's being super supportive. It's really scary to think that, you know, this happened, and we were, you know, I was worried for a bit that it might come down to, you know, to Chico, which is
I mean, I had my, just for those of you that are listening that care about the podcast, I had the mics and shit packed first thing. I was ready to go.
Well, that's funny. It's like, you know, I had to make a go bag, and I was like packing up, like I just made like I packed clothes at first, and then like important documents like socials and birth certificates and shit like that, right? And then I was like, okay, cool. What's the next thing I'm going to get? And I look around trip, and the first thing I look at are my Ultimate Muscle figures, and I go, okay, I was like, for sure, because I looked at them and I was just like, if I were to lose those, I would be devastated. And so I put them in my backpack, and I looked around, and I was like, and you know, I have like my computer, like my Mac or whatever, my Mac, what is this called? iMac. That's what they call it. I have my iMac, right?
Your Mac.
And I also have my big old Wacom like drawing tablet. I was just like, it's okay. I was like, as long as my figures are okay, I'll be cool. And I packed them up.
That's so funny. When we first started this podcast, you were like, yeah, I mean, like, figures are cool. I just don't get it, man. And they're like, I can never leave them.
It's funny because like my other figures, like, cause I mean, I don't have as many as you do.
No,
I have like a okay amount, like a normal person amount. Yeah. You know? And
well, a normal person amount for the amount of time you've been collecting them.
Exactly right.
You have to remember that all these motherfuckers have been over like the course of 10 years.
Mine has been like over the course of like 2-3 years or whatever.
Yeah.
And the only ones I got were my Ultimate Muscle stuff. It was like, if I lose Saitama, it's fine. If I lose my Shikamaru, it's okay. I'll buy another one. You know, the Luffy one was like, I'm pretty sure I can buy it somewhere else. So, but the Ultimate Muscle ones, I was like, no, I can't lose these.
No way.
There's no way I'll find these, or I'm not willing to try to find them again. So, look, man. Hey, stop fucking with Jenny. Leave her alone.
She's just looking at me.
She's being a bitch.
She winked at me too.
So, anyways, for people who care, that's our little spiel on the campfire that's currently going on. And I mean, if you can, go out there and donate anything to help them out. I mean, I donated a few places. And if you can't, that's fine. But just be aware that, you know, some people are having a rough go.
Yeah. I'm just housing my family, and I'm going to help out with whatever I can whenever they need stuff.
For sure. No, I feel it. And that's what we should be doing.
That's my support. But yeah, man, on to better and brighter things. What is good with you this week? Because I mean, there's been good shit going on aside from all the fires and whatnot.
Well, Saturday we finally got around to playing Pathfinder, which is super fun.
The boys are back in town.
And then Kyle finally did us like a solid for the first time ever. Because Kyle's, let me explain this.
Like, fuck you with your stupid fucking.
Because Kyle's been an asshole for those last. Was it been over 2 years that we've been doing this, right? Us, you and I personally.
I'm not going to call him an asshole.
I'll tell him. He's been an asshole for over 2 years because he has this beautiful fucking main quest and a bunch of well-tailored side quests, all this great stuff. Yeah. But this fucking asshole knows the only thing we want is a beach episode, you know? Yeah. Like a throwaway beach episode. And he fucking finally gave it to us. And it was fucking piece of shit almost killed me. Like,
he didn't do shit. You almost killed you.
Yeah, so it was a good time though. We went to the beach. We went through the really spooky forest, and Eliza was really scared.
Oh yeah, Eliza wasn't having any of it.
Okay, so first of all, I did not know Eliza has this huge fear for wendigos.
I didn't know how intense it was.
And she was like legitimately scared of them. I was like, Eliza, you know they're not real, right? And she's like, I know. But if they were, and then I remember we sat there and I had to keep asking her questions like, is it like are you just afraid of a specific one, the lore, what is it that really, you know? She sat and she talked about it. We talked about what's the game that she really.
Those of you that don't know what a wendigo is, why don't we just go into detail about that?
Okay, so from what I remember, here's my best go. A wendigo is like a person who's eaten human flesh and has felt regret, or is it like they feel bad about it, and they turn into this really gross looking monster?
Yeah, because there are some malicious spirits that's when they're able to attack them. Once that's when they're most vulnerable, and they already have like a taste for flesh or some shit. I don't know. Yeah, it's a Native American lore. Okay, so
I didn't know that. I mean, we've been in this forest several times, and I've fought the wendigo for like a split second once. Yeah. And when I say fought, as I shot arrows at it and shit my pants, you know, like and then
teleported to another dimension.
we got taken away. But it's from what I thought, it's just like hooved animal with big antlers and stuff.
You could think of it that way, yeah.
Yeah, and then Eliza's what's the game that she likes? It's called
Until Dawn.
Until Dawn. That's where her fear for wendigos really came from. And we've discussed about like playing it because I've never heard of it.
Yeah, but I want to play with you. You would fucking like it. Yeah,
it sounds like a good time.
You'd also be like, fuck this girl, I fucking hate her. Because there's one character that you definitely fucking hate, but you would extra hate her.
Oh yeah, oh my god, fucking Baka. She's tsundere as fuck.
No, she's just a bitch.
Oh, nice. She's
not even like...
She Lolita as fuck.
Nah. She's Asian, I think. Oh, fuck. If I remember correctly.
Fucking hate her.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Anyways, so we talked about, going through this forest, and it was going to save us 2 days on the trip. Yeah. And Eliza was not having it. No. And me being a total fucking asshole, was like, we're going through the forest.
Well, it wasn't that. It's that we've been through it so many times, and also I kind of wanted to see our bro.
Yeah. I mean, Kelly the Skelly, which is like a skeleton there who is super nice to us for some reason.
Yeah, and he wards off evil spirits with his whistles.
Mm-hmm. So we spent a couple days, and I mean, like, these are like in-day games or whatever. Yeah. Like getting ready for the stuff, like, making a note, making signs and getting outfits ready for the beach. And I got a inflatable intestine to wear as a floating device or whatever. Yeah. We got, and we went to the forest. That took a while. We got to the beach and we did beach stuff. Like,
yeah, it was chill. And then we just, we swam and built sandcastles and had a diving competition.
Diving comp.
A watermelon blindfold hitting thing.
Yeah, we did the anime thing where they smash the watermelon.
That Japanese thing.
And then I almost died twice trying to like set up a tent, and you had to save me twice. And then I legitimately
so funny.
Legitimately, I rolled. So Kyle has this rule: if you roll three ones in a row, you're dead. It doesn't matter what the situation is, you just die. He has to he figures out some convoluted way for you to die. Yeah. So I rolled 2 ones in a row. And it's super fucked is that we have played this game for so long and we've been in so many situations to think that the one, like, if I would have rolled one more one, Kyle would have been like, cool, the one day off, the day you have a throwaway episode is the day that you die. Yeah. And we're just like, I was getting really upset. It's like, I don't want to fucking die. And you guys were just like, let's imagine all the ways Kyle could kill him. Yeah. You started throwing things out there.
And then for me, I have an ability where I get to, I roll 2 dice every in-game morning. Mm-hmm. And then I can manipulate time by using these different amounts or whatever. It's a whole like lore thing that was added in.
He can replace a roll with these 2 rolls that he gets in the morning. So they can be super shitty, super good or whatever.
It just depends on what I get. Mm-hmm. So I got a 1 and a 10. So I had the power to make any of your rolls
a 1,
which
would have killed me.
Which I don't remember if we've discussed. I think if it's 3 rolls, even if somebody changes it, you're dead no matter what. But I could have changed a good roll. I could have changed a natural 20 to a 1 if I wanted to and just kill you. I had so much power.
But he didn't do it.
Yeah, no, very lucky that it was me, that I would be devastated if you died. I also thought it was fucking hilarious that it was the chill time.
The chill episode, right? The throwaway episode. And I was like, this is killing me. And so I just didn't want to do anything because I knew if I did anything, I'd have to roll. So I was like, fuck, I'm going to roll that one. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to build a sandcastle, and this is how I'm going to die. Yep. So I rolled a 14, which is super good. I was like, thank God. I didn't die. No. That was like the scariest time in Pathfinder I'd ever had.
Just hanging out at the beach. Yeah, that was super fun. That was a super fun chill time.
Yeah, so that was Saturday. And then, like I said,
we played for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was a good session back, and we had to do a little bit of working with characters and making sure we knew all of our abilities and whatnot, which we didn't use anything because we were just having fun and role-playing the whole time.
Yeah, several hours. Like, we got there super early, and we stayed super late.
Yeah, it was good.
Super great. And then, like I said, because of air quality or whatever, this school's been canceled for a week, so... today it's just been super lazy bros for me, and I've just been kind of just fucking around and almost finished Maniac, that series on Netflix.
That Netflix, yeah.
I think I said I have like 10 minutes left on the last episode, and they're like, "Fuck, I have to go to dinner." Fucking assholes, making me go eat with them. Like, I finished the last 10 minutes of Maniac, and I was like driving, mumbling the whole way there.
Did you finish it in the car?
No. Man. What else? And then I watched last night. Have you ever seen it, Children of Men?
Yeah,
I like that movie.
Yeah,
I watched it.
It's good.
It's a good movie. It's about like the world is loses their ability to like procreate or whatever, and so then this one lady gets pregnant. So this guy, his job is to try to get her to a safe place so she can have her baby, which is super cool. I really like that movie. I don't know if it's super cool.
It was fucking cool, dude.
Great, fucking childbirth was amazing. What else did I do? I finished the last episode of Survivor that's available on Hulu.
Oh, you did it. You're through your series.
I've done, I think it was 30, 33 or 34 seasons. Maybe 35. No, it's 34. 34 seasons of Survivor. I think I finished them in a little over a month because I've been watching it for a while now,
I can't even fathom how to do that.
It was so good. I mean, I would just play them after another, like do work,
Yeah, I don't know, man. Because I play like video games and shit, right?
Yeah.
So that's like my sole focus. And the fact that you could do other shit while that's just on, it just blows my fucking mind.
Well, I mean, I don't play video games, so...
Yeah, no, I know.
it's like, why is Trip worried about this affecting my video game play? It's not.
No. I'm just like, I can't imagine it just because... So many of the things that I do require my sole focus. So it's just interesting. It's crazy.
Well, I mean, I guess
it's like you can't watch anime and put on an episode of Survivor.
I could. It'd be really shitty because I'd be like, oh God, I really want to see who wins this immunity, but I gotta read these stupid subtitles.
I feel like such a bok. I can't follow either.
Yeah, no. So yeah, that was super fun. I mean, it's my favorite show. It's one of my favorite things to watch ever. Like I've said several times to you, like I like it more than anime. Like if you put 2 doors in front of me and one of them was like, hey man, you want to go to the world of anime or the world where Survivor airs every Wednesday, I would go to the Wednesday Survivor airs. Isn't that crazy?
Has Survivor ever made you cry?
Yeah. Oh, all the time, man.
Fuck.
All the time. I'm such a bitch. I cry all the time.
What?
I was like, oh my God, all they gotta eat is rice. Fuck.
Oh, damn. You got hella sympathy.
Here it is. If there's a button and I had to pick between, never having Survivor again, never having anime, I would be the guy, the sweats guy,
Yeah.
And then it fucking smashed the fuck out of that, always have Survivor, fuck anime. That's super fucked. I should start a Survivor podcast.
Guys, this has been the last episode of the Instagram podcast. Juan's going to do his own thing for a while, and I might just go off into the country and
eat a lot of pitches.
Yeah.
So I did that. If anybody cares, I watched one more episode of the Bunny Senpai thing.
Hell yeah.
I like it.
Such a fucking good show.
It's a good show.
Definitely my favorite of the season.
For sure. I caught up with other shows with Sierra too. I watched the Run with the Wind show.
Yep.
I still really like that show.
That's good.
Yeah. There's a funny bit where the 2 boys were there's the boy who's trying to convince him to join the running team, and the one boy who's adamant he's not going to.
It's like, fuck you, I just steal stuff.
So he challenges them to like they have to sit in the bathhouse, and because the water's too hot, and the person who stays like the longest wins or whatever, they both pass out from the heat. And they're turning like beet red, and they're like, I'm not gonna fucking quit. Like neither am I, bitch. And then you see the twins dragging them out, like, oh my god, they're dying. Someone get them water or whatever, you know. So that was super fun. I also caught up with I think I caught up with Goblin Slayer. They just fucking Goblin slaying it up.
They got a whole team.
Dude, are you caught up with Goblin Slayer?
I might have missed the latest episode, which aired like yesterday or something.
Okay, and then you for sure saw the bit where like they're killing this big old orc who they've never seen an orc before. He's like, what the fuck? Because all he does is kill goblins.
Right.
He's like, I don't know what the fuck you are, but I'll try. And so it's super, it's like the fact that like
they're in like an arena.
Yeah, that he doesn't know how to fight it properly because he's like, well, I've never fought this thing before, you know? And so he gets his shit rocked real quick. I was like, oh fuck. And then he uses this scroll that we saw earlier. Yeah. And oh my God, was it not the coolest thing ever? It
was so cool because the scroll essentially is just like a baby ass, like doesn't fucking matter at all kind of scroll. But he found a way for it to matter really good.
Well, essentially with the scroll, it's like a teleportation scroll, right? Yeah. And I was just like, he can move one thing from one place to another, and it's like, that's super simple. He fucking wise as fuck put it at the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah. Like you have to have two scrolls or whatever. One of them goes...
One's wherever. In and one's out, essentially. So you put one at the bottom of the ocean and the other one he holds. And so he opened it and, he activated the thing. So it brought the ocean from the water from the bottom of the ocean, through the scroll and hit the fucking big old orc. And the water pressure was so strong, it cut him in half. Yeah. Oh my God, that was the fucking dopest thing.
Wasn't it so cool?
It's like everything I've done in Pathfinder has been super shit compared to these guys.
Oh yeah, totally.
That was so cool. So I'm really, really liking that show still. I don't know. I'm trying to remember if I watched anything else. Oh, watch the Arrow Boys.
Yeah.
It's
all right.
Yeah, they're all right.
Which kind of sucks considering it's Kyoto Animation. Like parts of it, I'm like, oh, that's cool. And other parts, I'm like, I don't really give a fuck.
I'm not completely sold on it yet. Like, there's times where I think it looks really good, and there's times where I was like, it could look,
exactly. It's weird. I got super mixed feelings. It's just like kind of a
there's
show
a lot
for me.
There's a lot of angst. Yeah, there's a lot of angst, and me. I'm not really big into angst. No. It's not true. I fucking love angst.
Oh shit.
I'm an angst lord.
I'm an angst lord.
I'm an ong lord. Yep.
I support what's his name? Shyamalan.
Oh, M. Night
Shyamalan. Yeah.
Yeah, we love his shit. He's garbage.
I feel like Garbage Town. Yeah, there's no Avatar movie or whatever. Fuck.
That's it with me, man. Shit. Honestly, what's good and technically what's up with anime, honestly.
Yeah.
What up with you, though?
Dog. Well, a couple of games came out that I've been really looking forward to playing on virtual reality, but I haven't been able to play them because of the fire. Because my family's staying here, so I can't really be out in the living room and use the TV and shit.
Reincarnated the Slime. That's the one I'm caught up with.
Yeah, that one's good.
Good show.
Really liking it. We're getting to the point where, like, we're almost at the, like, I feel like we're at a changing point.
Mm-hmm. Things are going to level up. Essentially, the game's going to add there's going to be another level to the game. Be like,
we're about to get like an actual story going on.
Yeah, for sure.
Because, fucking spoilers, but our boy from Japan met a girl from Japan.
Shut the front door.
But the girl from Japan teleported there or something. She was summoned, which is like a huge fucking ritual. So she was summoned there, and then a slime boy was reincarnated there. So they've got whole different experiences, but pretty cool. Don't touch her paws.
I'll do whatever the fuck I want with their paws.
All right, good call. Yeah, that show's really good. Banana Fish, still good.
Fuck, I'm super behind.
Color Girl, it's aight.
It's behind on that too.
I'm liking it. Oh, dude, Zombieland Saga is still. It's really high up there in my enjoyment.
I don't think I'm gonna watch it. I kind of had to try to force myself to watch it, and I don't think I want to anymore.
What episode did you get to?
Dose.
Yeah, no, it keeps getting better.
No, I'm good. Dose is good.
Fuck, dude. Episode 5 made me laugh so hard.
That means I gotta do Trace and Quattro. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, no, you're fucking wrong about everything that you choose to be. Episode 6, also really fucking good. We're getting a little bit more plot going on there, and I love this show. I didn't expect to. The first episode, I was like, oh, this might be fucking good, but it also might get tiring. The second episode, I was like, I fucking love this. Who knows what'll happen? Third episode, lost me a little bit. Fourth episode brought me way the fuck back, and I liked it more than both. Episode 5
impregnated you.
Hilarious. It's split into 2 parts, where the first part is they're advertising for like this little chicken restaurant, and the second part is they're doing a rope not a rope. They're just doing like an obstacle course competition. So the first one, they all get fucking covered in mud, and the whole idea was that they were going to advertise for their group or whatever, but you can't read their shirts anymore because they're all just fucking covered in mud, right? And then they go and do this this little like rope swing thing where depending on like how far you're able to jump off of the rope swing into the mud, you get more points. And they're like, maybe if we make it in first, we could talk and we could still promote our group. And they all fucking suck, except for the girl who hasn't become like a human yet. She's still a zombie. Yeah. So she fucking kills it. And I think she's there like first or third or something on there. And earlier she was like ripping her shirt or whatever, and I'm like, oh fuck, well you can't wear that, so you have to put like another one on over it in order to still be okay. And then they remembered at the end, they're like, oh shit, rip your shirt off, like you could still advertise for us. But then turns out that the shirt that she had underneath was the shirt that she got for free from advertising for the chicken place.
Oh no.
So she just gave like the chickens a big old ad, and she's just like now the chicken girl. So she just like does a little chicken balk every time that people are excited about her. So, because people love
and
that
you
she
like
does
that
that
trash.
Holy shit, it's so funny. Honestly, it's so close to being my favorite show. Bunny Girl, it like has the best dialogue. It's just the most interesting, and it has the best characters. But Zombieland Saga has the best intro of any show I've ever seen.
What?
Yeah.
Best intro.
Any show I've ever seen.
Ever.
Yes.
Ever.
Yes.
Okay, now I gotta ask you this seriously.
Yeah.
Have you listened to the intro for Digimon 3?
Yeah. I'm not talking about the song, but also the song is pretty fucking great too.
But you're telling me it's better than
yeah,
Digimon
without a
Frontier.
doubt. Without a fucking doubt.
I don't think this is true.
Do you remember it?
The song?
No, the intro to the Zombieland Saga.
No, I could sing Frontier for you.
Okay, do it.
I don't remember the beginning part because to reclaim the digital world, with strengthen ourselves and trust in each other, we'll live by the lessons we've learned.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zombieland Saga way better.
Fuck you.
It's fucking crazy.
Blasphemy.
It's like
this fucking podcast is over. I'm no longer.
Dude, that's fine.
I'm not working with you. I refuse to work with you. You know what? This wasn't even a job. This isn't. We were fucking hobbyists
shit.
at the best.
Oh my god. Okay, so you're saying what other people are saying now? You're saying that we're not in a business together? This was a hobby the whole fucking time?
Eliza called us out the other day. She's like, you guys, these aren't business partners. You guys don't make any money. I was just like, yeah, plenty of businesses don't make any money.
Yeah, but we're not going bankrupt, so fuck you.
She said, he's like, you guys are just like hobbyist partners or whatever. Like, I was like, what the fuck does Eliza know?
That bitch.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Eliza. You don't even listen to us.
Anyways, I'm good. I'm glad you like Zombieland. But you're saying you still like the Bunny Senpai more?
Yeah, of course I still like it more. Just because it's got such good characters and it has really interesting stories that it keeps really wrapping up. The animation is fucking stellar.
Yeah, I think it looks really good. I really like that show. I'm going to watch some more of it. I really like that intro.
Yeah,
honestly.
It's a great intro. It's a good outro.
He's doing the running thing. He's got the toast, and then he turns into a spit. No, that's a different one.
Whatever. But yeah, I think the biggest difference is I look forward to Zombieland Saga every week because it's episodic. You don't have to worry about
seeing past episodes.
Yeah, exactly. You can just jump in. It's great. So I always look forward to it because I know it's all going to wrap up really cleanly. And but what the fuck is the Bunny Girl Senpai called? It's like Rascal does not
dream of Bunny Senpai.
Yeah. Okay. So Rascal does not dream of Bunny Girl Senpai.
Yeah.
They have these stories that are like 3 episodes long and then it wraps up.
Yeah.
And they do a really good job with that. So
that first arc, oh man.
I don't know. The second one's pretty good too. It makes me appreciate the characters more in the second arc. And there's some really fun things. Like in the next episode, you're about to see our main character like stand up to a bully.
Oh, I saw the trailer for that. And he kicks him in the knee super hard. That was so funny.
He like winds up to punch him in the face and kicks him in the knee. It's so great.
No, in the shin. Sorry. Yeah.
Whatever.
It was a big old dude. Yeah. I remember seeing that too on because he got punched first. And he's like, all right, well, I'm going to stand up to this guy. And he's like, he shimmies like he's about to fight. And then he kicks him in the knee really good.
It's so well done.
Fuck.
And I think he like also kicks him in the face or something too. I don't know what he does exactly. He's like, I stepped in dog shit earlier. And the dude's like, what the fuck?
Have you been kicked in the shin?
Yeah.
Oh, shit hurts, man.
Yeah, it hurts real. That's why they have shin guards in soccer, because it hurts so fucking bad.
Yeah, man, I hate getting kicked in the shins.
It's fucked up.
It's a fucking shitty feeling. Yeah, that show is really good, and I really like it.
Really well done. Really smart. I don't remember. Is it based on a manga or is it a light novel?
I want to say it's a light novel. If not, it's original.
Like, because it's...
I got it. It's based off a 4-coma manga.
Yeah.
How funny would that be? Someone just sees this 4-coma, is like, wow, I can tell they have amazing dialogue in this. I can't wait to animate this.
Fucking so good.
Yeah. So I don't even know what studio it is, but it's fucking stellar.
I don't know. It's like PA Works or something amazing.
Yeah.
Right?
Probably. Let me get this fucking cat out the way.
Oh, no, don't do that. No, come on, man. No. Yeah, Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. It's made by Cloverworks.
That's
fucking genius. And it's based off of a light novel.
Nice. We're good. We're real good.
Bring it back. Definitely don't have a little secret list in my pocket at all times. Yeah, that's such a good show. I wish you liked Zombieland Saga. It's so fucking good.
I wish you liked plenty of things that you don't like, and you don't see me bringing up issues about it.
I'm sorry.
We can still be friends.
Name one
that I want you like that you don't like. Is it wrong to pick up Girls in a Dungeon?
Yeah, well, that's fair.
You weren't even gonna argue. You're like, yep, don't like it.
Yeah. I'm like, no, I totally get it. Like, it's the same thing. Like, I'm surprised that
if Zombie Girls had more tits and ass, then I'd be watching it, but it doesn't.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you better be sorry.
It ain't got that TNA, but it got that DNA. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't.
I still jerk off to it.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. No, now I get it.
Okay.
Cool, man.
Long story short, that's what I've been watching this week.
That's what's up.
I've been really, just a little side note, really been into the idea of watching just some slice of life anime, just putting it in my pocket, getting into it. I kind of want to rewatch. Dude, it's a real toss up between K-On! And Azumanga Daioh.
Nice. You should rewatch Bunny Drop.
Yeah. Nah. It's got too much emotion for me. Actually, never mind. I cried at the end of Azumanga Daioh.
Really?
Yeah, reading the manga, I cried so fucking hard.
Azumanga Daioh is the girls that go to school together, right?
Yeah.
That's the one, right? The guy used to do, he used to draw hentai. Yeah, they did that show. Okay, good. I was like, what the fuck is that one?
Yeah, no, I remember I was in it was my senior year of high school and we were in class, but I finished all my work or some shit. So I was just like, I got this omnibus or whatever of the Azumanga Daioh manga. So I went ahead and read that. And I just I could not handle it. I was crying so hard. There's a little part where they go on a field trip and they go to that like cat island or whatever. And then one of the cats like comes back with them, like sneaks on the boat or something. They're trying to get it back home and it just like, it's following them. And this girl who constantly tries to pet this cat that like chomps, every single time. Then this little fucker from the island is just like, no, I like you. And she's finally like happy to have a cat. Yeah, because what like all this... Because she's so sad that she can't pet cats and that they all fucking hate her. And then she finally finds one that like loves her or whatever. And she's like, no, you can't be here or whatever. And she like tries to send him away. And he follows her all the way from like this like they went on a bus and like went away. And the cat followed the bus all the way back to like her hometown or whatever just to be with her. Oh man, I fucking cried so hard.
Pussy.
Like I can't handle it right now. But I don't think I cried at the end of K-On!, but a lot of people did.
I guess you should rewatch K-On! If you don't want to cry. No, I forgot rewatching anime. I started rewatching Death Note today for some reason.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it's pretty
good.
Look
at you.
Yeah, I think I'm like on episode 6 or something.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Fucking, it baffles me to remember being like, wow, this kid was so fucking smart. What a fucking bad person. If only he would have done,
I know, he could have been so good.
If only his his logic wasn't so twisted or whatever. His sense of
morally gray.
Yeah, but he's just like, nah, man, I'm doing the right thing by killing all these people. It's like, yeah, I guess or whatever.
Yeah, and he's like, and I'm just gonna fucking kill everyone. If they get in my way, I'm killing them. I'm just like, whoa,
the best at it. Like even early on in the season, like there's just one point where you're just like, oh no, they're investigating. The FBI is investigating my family or the Japanese police. He was like, damn. He was like, this sucks. They might find out who I am. This might lead me to killing my family or whatever. He goes like, and I really don't want to do that so soon. It wasn't like it wasn't like I don't want to do it at all. I just don't want to do it. Right now,
I wouldn't be. I haven't accomplished enough yet.
Exactly. He's like, it wouldn't benefit me to get rid of them yet.
Yeah,
it's like,
pretty fucked up.
What a fucked up thing to think. And then I also started reading this other manga called Darwin's Game.
Okay, yeah, I've heard of that.
It's gonna get a new anime. Essentially, it's like a survival thing or whatever. And like it's kind of like you download an app and then you get sent out to like you challenge people and then you go kill each other. And I think I haven't gone that far, but I think the app gives you some sort of supernatural power because the guy he's in his first match and he's fighting a guy who's like in a big his job, he must be like a mascot for like a baseball team. He's wearing a big old like a panda head, and so he's got a knife and he's just out killing people or whatever. And I think his powers to go invisible. Like he just goes invisible. And he's like, oh shit, how does that happen? And I think our main character's power is to duplicate things because before he like leaves to go to the match, he like someone drops a pencil and he goes like, oh, let me grab it for you. He grabs it and then he like there's a weird like
he hands him the fake one. No. Gotcha, motherfucker.
No, he hands the person the pencil and then he's like, oh, like the pen, and then he leaves. And the person who's like, I think she's a nurse, and the nurse like looks down and she's like, huh, and she picks up and it's the exact same pen and she goes, I didn't know I had two of these or whatever. So I think that's his power, but he hasn't discovered it yet. So
okay, interesting.
So far I like it. I'm kind of hoping like it can be turned into a good anime.
Yeah.
And just, I don't hope it happens like, you know, where it gets that shitty fucking, you know, King's Game deal where like a really shitty fucking studio picks it up. It's like, we can do a shit version of this story. So anyways.
You know how fucking mad I would be if The Promised Neverland winds up being shit? Because I'm like, so quickly, I'm just reading. I'm like, oh, cool. This is like a more interesting Ender's Game to me. Mm-hmm. And then right after that, I was like, holy fuck. I don't know what this is, but this is incredible. It just happened within the first 30 pages. I was like, this is the fucking shit.
I guess it's I guess that's how some people who are reading Black Clover.
Black
Cloverfield, because like some people really like the manga.
I feel really bad for all the people that read the manga and then are watching the show, because I tried to watch the show because, you know, it was like 50 episodes and we're fucking done. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. I've never watched like a full shonen. Yeah. And then we're like, actually, just kidding. We are fucking making a ton for some reason. Mm-hmm. And there aren't even moments where you're like, oh yeah, I understand where the budget went. Like, I understand why it looks so fucking bad. It makes no sense.
I don't like it.
There are parts of the show that just suck. At the beginning, I was like, I see potential. I could see myself liking it. Yeah. And there were episodes where I was like, this is pretty cool. And then, you know, I sit there and I'm like, I don't want to watch the episode next week, so I'll just put it off. And then I sit there and I watch 6 episodes and I'm like, that was fine. Mm-hmm. It's like better than Sword Guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like watching it and I'm like, well, I don't feel like I wasted my time, but I feel like I could have done something better.
It's for sure better than Sword Guy, but I think it's not as good as other shonens that are out there. Yeah, like there's way better shonens, like even old ones. Like I'd rather watch Naruto over this. I'd rather watch One Piece over this.
For sure.
I would watch.
I mean, there's a reason that they're still around. Mm-hmm. And man, that's what pisses me off so much about them being like, here's Black Clover, the new Titan in anime shonen. It's just like, fuck off. It's only supposed to be 50 episodes. And they were like, and there's more. And I'm like, well, now it's a contender, but honestly, the fucking bar is set real low when you put that in there.
Got to, like,
My Hero is without a doubt.
Yeah, for sure. The best one so far.
Yeah.
Like, I think I wouldn't, like, if I had the choice to watch old Dragon Ball or watch this, I would probably watch Black Clover just because old Dragon Ball did not age well, you know?
No, yeah.
Fucking, yeah. That's where I draw the line.
Right, hang on. Powerpuff Girls? Or Black Clover. Yeah, exactly. Right? But it's during that same era where like Powerpuff Girls, the originals, were on TV at the same time that like Dragon Ball was. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, you know, Dragon Ball was so cool for the time, but like there's that extra charm of like Powerpuff Girls where they both kind of look shit.
Yeah,
but the style holds up a little bit better in Powerpuff, and
it's better. It's I mean, it's different for sure.
Totally different, but I feel like at the time they felt so similar. One of them was like aimed towards guys and the other one was kind of aimed towards girls
that wanted to be guys. Nice.
Yeah. Well, I mean, dude, actually the scariest villain of all time, him. You didn't know what him was.
Yeah, he was like a weird
he was like a trans
gender fluid kind of thing. Yeah.
Lobster demon.
Really scary voice.
He was dope. Yeah, anyways, I've also been thinking about watching, just because the other day we had a conversation about, oh, what are we going to do for this week? And I had a couple of different options. Well, it turns out that one of them was the sequel movie to a series. Didn't realize that because people were just like, oh man, this movie's great. And then finally I got down to comments that are like, can I watch this without watching the series? And I was like, fuck. Anyways, Tamako Market. I've been thinking about doing that. It's on Hulu, only on Hulu. Actually, which is fucking
worth having. Hulu.
Thank you, Hulu. So gonna check out that shit soon, probably, because I want to see that movie that people really like.
For sure, I'll get into it too.
Which is called Tamako Love Story, for those of you that don't know. So in the future, we about to get some shit.
Cool. So how about we do the news, because we've been talking for a while, and I mean I feel like we have some stuff to say about
All right,
Red Turtle.
face.
Okay, shit.
Let's fucking
don't
get
talk
to it.
Don't talk to Jenny that way.
I was talking to me.
Yeah, good.
I was just like, fuck you, you piece of shit, putting off this news. Check it out, man. You seen One Punch Man?
Yes.
Do you like it?
Yes.
What's your favorite part?
One Punch.
Guess what? The One Punch Boys are back. Jam Project has been confirmed for the second season of One Punch Man. So Jam Project did the One Punch song, which everyone fucking knows, and that got them so hyped about it in the beginning. They're like, I don't know what the fuck this is, but after the fucking big old scream that everyone loves, it just comes in with that like really intense, like they're kind of singing, it's kind of rhythmic, and then you got the person in the background who's like, "What's about to got about now?" And you're like, "Yeah, whatever that was."
I want what that guy's having.
Hell yeah, yeah, they're back. I don't know what the fuck this next one's gonna be, but it's gonna be. Oh,
I kind of hope that they don't. That they would just use the same one because it's so good, you know. Because then
I mean, it is, but the fact that it's the same band gives me so much hope.
No, because you know, the fucking Attack on Titan guys killed it for 2.5 seasons or whatever, and like, hey, guess what? We're gonna fucking shit the bed with season 3, and they did. They ruined it with the intro.
That was a different band.
Oh no, I'm just saying
they do the outro.
Just keep it. The outro is still gonna be like, honestly.
No, but they do the outro for it, so it's. While it's the same band, they did a different thing because it's the outro, and you're not supposed to get hyped during the outro.
I want to get hyped during the intro and the outro. I want a nonstop hype.
I mean, I know, yeah, but they really fucked with us. So Jam Project, I fucking hope that they do a great job again. I expect them to.
For sure.
So if they don't, I'm not going to watch One Punch Man season 2. Fucking come in.
Oh, did he say
Could you imagine that?
Oh my god, that's so
Saitama's behind you looking at me like, oh, you motherfucker.
That'd be super funny if someone sits there and like, nope, intro's not hype enough, just turns it off.
It's like, wow, I'm not hyped at all.
No, that should be cool. I can't wait to see that.
Hey, you know what else I can't wait to see? Netflix is going to have 2 new anime things. One of them is a series, one of them is a feature, and they're by Japanese studios, which is always a huge plus because you never know. Like Castlevania is made by, they're like outsourced to a Korean studio for some stuff, and it's a whole thing. Anyways, Altered Carbon is getting an animated feature, which is pretty exciting for people that are a fan of that show. Never watched it, heard it was okay.
I've heard mixed reviews about it too. You know, it's kind of good, kind of bad, kind of in between. But
so I'll just put those together and say it's okay.
Okay, yeah, I agree.
And then people who like things like Pacific Rim are going to be excited because there's going to be an animated show about it, which I think is going to be more fun than the movies, honestly.
For sure. I like Pacific Rim. I mean, I didn't really like the first one. It was just kind of dumb. The second one came out, I was like, oh, cool. It's just kind of dumb, but it was fun. It was just robots fighting big monsters. Like, what more could you really want?
I think it's what the first one was supposed to be because the first one focused too much on shit that absolutely does not matter.
They focused a lot on the characters. Like, dude, I don't give a fuck about your characterization. Sometimes kid guy from fucking Sons of Anarchy. Shut the fuck up, you know?
Sometimes that matters. Sometimes it makes it better. But I think they realized, we didn't do that great of a job. Let's just do the thing we're good at.
Just make the robots fight the big monsters. That's what we really want.
Because, I mean, do you remember the latest Godzilla movie? How much they focused on the, like, army guy that didn't matter at all?
The guy that was kick-ass,
yeah, he didn't fucking matter at all.
Yeah, I was like, dude, show me fucking Godzilla.
Yeah, and then they were like, here's some bugs. And I'm like, cool, I want to see Godzilla. Bugs are cool and all, but I want to see Godzilla. And then finally they show Godzilla, and Godzilla just fucking pukes in a bug's mouth, and you're like, hell yeah, I want some more of that.
I'm like, more Godzilla.
Anyways, real shit. Pacific Rim anime.
We're gonna for sure watch those, so cool.
All right, stuff that's pretty neato. Flying Lotus, they did a lot of bumps in Adult Swim. People were really into it. You know, you're watching Boondocks, and then afterwards, oh shit, we got a cool bump, and it's got some chill ass lo-fi hip hop shit. Turns out that that's all Flying Lotus, and by all I mean the ones that you really bumped into.
The good ones,
you know, and they are going to be executive producing and composing the score for a new Netflix anime series called Yasuke, which is about a retired Ronin.
Nice.
Holy shit, that's going to be fucking... Because essentially that's giving me like Samurai Champloo vibes, just hearing about it, you know?
You know what's cool is that, like, you know, Netflix has kind of burned us a little bit on every now and then giving us like a shitty anime thing, whatever.
Every now and then
it's for like Violet Evergarden.
Yeah, consistent as well. And I liked the food one that we watched.
Yeah. What was it? Something about the world.
Food and around the world.
It was flavor of youth. Flavor of youth. Oh, that was so good. No, but also I don't know. Was the one about like the chick that was like in World War II also by Netflix?
That one wasn't by Netflix, but it was on Netflix. It's so good.
No, what I was trying to say
in
is
this corner of the world.
Yeah, good job. No, what I'm saying is, like, we've been burnt on like having some shitty anime from Netflix, but so this could be shitty anime, but at least we know the fucking music's gonna be popping.
Oh yeah, I'll like put it on the background. Yeah. That's the one thing where I'm like, you know what? I'll watch Survivor and put this anime on in the background.
You're like, yeah. I was like, I don't really care about the plot, but the fucking music kicks ass. It's like, really? He's like, yeah. Have you listened to those bumpers on Adult Swim? Have you ever hoped that it'd last 2 hours? Like, yes. Well, just fucking, this is the thing for you, dog.
Yeah, man. And I guess before I forget, just in case. Everyone knows at this point, but Stanley just passed away today that we're recording, which he's been a big influence, like clearly on Western culture and like comic books and their acceptance of everything there and the American people's acceptance of comic books and TV shows and movies and whatnot, like all relating to superheroes and all that. And I feel like he's had a big influence in Japan as well. There have been a lot of like superhero type things that have been influenced by the American comics and vice versa, which is pretty cool. Yeah, well, we usually would do a moment of silence for people who pass away in the anime industry. And I feel like we should go into Stan Lee just because he's a homie. So moment of silence for Stan Lee. All right, homie, you would be missed. You know what? I was going to tell you, Stan Lee did actually make an anime. Like, he co-wrote an anime with some people. Yeah. We never got around to watching it because it kind of looked kind of ugly. It did.
And now I feel like it'd be a good time to review it, but I also kind of don't want to because, like, what if,
listen, man, let's not tarnish that memory.
Because he just passed away. So it'd be like, what if we watch the show and we're like, wow, this was trash.
Like, Stanley, you sucked. That would be horrible,
so,
right?
Yes, I feel kind of bad about that. But anyways.
No, he's a real homie.
R.I.P. Stanley. And eventually, someday, we will review the anime that you made, and hopefully it's pretty okay.
Yeah, maybe we will. I don't know. Maybe
we will for sure do it. Written in stone. I wrote it in stone. All
right. Well, there's the stone right there.
Right there.
There's a lot chiseled so quick.
There's a lot of stuff on that stone, but it's written in there.
It's there. All right. So yeah. Anyways, moving on to better and brighter things. You remember a little manga called Fruits Basket?
I for sure remember you telling me a lot about it because your sister used to like to read it.
You got a good memory on you, boy.
I couldn't tell you what it's about, but I remember that specifically. Like, you're like, yeah, my sister really liked anime. Really got into fruit baskets. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that is. I don't know what
the fuck it is either. I think that there are some like little, like everyone has a special critter that like hangs out with them or like is weird like
I can't tell if you're lying to me or not.
I honestly don't know.
Anyways, it's a thing and people like it.
So speaking of people liking it, people like it so much that after a million billion years of the manga being out and people fucking loving it, they're finally going to make an anime adaptation. So that's pretty fucking cool. It's going to be the entire story. So it's not just going to be like a little baby bitch boy. Oh, check out this little arc. It's going to be all of it. Nice. So we don't know many details about it yet, but it's all been announced that that's happening.
They're going to do it and we're going to watch it. Some of it at least.
Which is neato. You know what else is neato?
What?
Well, Japan has a little thing called Pokemon.
I've heard of it.
Most of the world is familiar with it.
I think that wall is all Pokemon over there. The one behind you.
Yeah, the wall behind me is like all Pokemon. Well, turns out that America heard of it and they were like, what if we just did Pokemon instead?
What if we did Pokemon but better?
Guess what? Detective Pikachu coming to theaters. United States. Nice. Let's go. Ryan Reynolds. Nice. Fucking what's his name? Justice Smith.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah, dude, I got brains. Saw the trailer for it. Just dropped. I liked it. I want to see it. I really want to see it.
I'm not the biggest fan of Pokemon like you are. I mean, hold on. Let me rephrase that. There are bigger fans than you also. Okay, so you're also not the biggest fan of Pokemon.
I fucking hate Pokemon.
But I for sure understand it and know what it means to people. And we've been talking about this for a while because the news of Detective Pikachu has been around for a bit.
Yeah.
But to finally see the first trailer is really cool. I didn't know that they confirmed Ryan Reynolds, and maybe we talked about it. But
there was. I remember for sure there were talks
of Danny DeVito.
Oh yeah, that was exciting.
Which I really would have liked.
Yeah, that would have been fucking hilarious for this. But also Ryan Reynolds works.
Yeah.
I just feel like it gives it a very different vibe than Danny DeVito. Because like as a detective, I feel like Danny DeVito would be like, all right, well let's just get shit fucking done.
Like a very gruff kind of dude.
Yeah, but he would also be like kind of shitty and it would be funny.
There's a specific line in the trailer where Pikachu says some shit like it's like, yeah, I know you don't like Pokemon, but what about like a number one ace detective or whatever?
Yeah.
I can imagine that line being said by Danny DeVito, and I would be like, wow, this would have been really good.
Yeah, essentially the way that I'm thinking of it in my head is like Phil from Hercules.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I would imagine it too.
But now it's Pikachu.
Yeah.
And some like kid.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, the plot's not very, I mean, it's pretty straightforward, I guess.
Yeah.
The main character is a kid that doesn't really care for Pokemon or whatever, just because he's kind of a shitlord or whatever.
But his dad's gone missing, and the only Pokemon that anybody's ever been able to understand, well, this one kid can understand Pikachu word for word.
Yeah, Detective Pikachu shows up and he says, "Hey, let me help you. I'm a detective."
Yeah,
and they can talk. It's great.
Yeah, they could chat. It's like if Meowth from the Pokemon series,
Pikachu.
Team Rocket's Meowth was Pikachu, except only one person could understand him. Mm-hmm. So really weird.
It's interesting. I remember talking to my cousin. He came over today. He was like, "Hey, have you seen this? What do you think about this?" And he's a huge Pokemon fan.
Yeah.
And he was just like, "Yeah, I'm not really sold on it, but I watched the trailer and I thought it was funny." And he said, "I'm going to check it out." I was like, "Yeah." He said he doesn't know how he feels about it being Ryan Reynolds just because he kind of equates it to him being Deadpool now, you know? And I was just like, I mean, that makes sense, but you know, he's a funny guy. He's got a good voice.
Yeah.
You know, it's not something meant to be super serious. So
no.
I think it's a good choice. You know, it's going to sell the seat or whatever.
Yeah. Honestly, with the trailer, they show off only a handful of Pokemon. Mm-hmm. So first off, starts with Pikachu, mm-hmm. clearly. And then I think we see a whole bunch of Bulbasaur. Uh-huh. And they look pretty fucking good. And we get to see a Greninja for a second. And then we get to see like a few Greninja. And you're like, oh shit. Which I think is interesting that they're grouping so many of the same Pokemon together.
Like they hang out all the
because
time,
like,
whatever.
It makes sense in the wild, like, oh yeah, you know,
it's
there
a
would be
herd of Greninjas,
exactly. And they are like, even in the series, they're like, oh, it's a herd of Tauros or mm-hmm. whatever. There's like a stampede coming, it's all Tauros and shit like that. But then in all the games and whatnot, you're just like, all right, well, there's just like a fuckload of Pokemon all hanging out with each other.
Yeah, like, oh, dude, this tall grass is filled with Greninjas and fucking Charizards and
usually
fucking Staryus and
the types
Venusaurs and fucking Wigglytuffs and fucking Bowsers and fucking Bowsettes.
Yeah, there you go.
I ran out of Pokemon.
Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Nobody's concerned. Yeah. But normally you'll have like all the fire type or all the water type are together. So you're mm-hmm. going to see, you know, a Lapras hanging out with a Greninja or some shit like that. But instead it has pretty much all the different Pokemon are doing different shit. Mm-hmm. So we see Jigglypuff for a second and she's hanging out in like a bar, it looks like. I think she has her microphone.
Maybe a karaoke bar or like a diner or something.
Yeah, something like that. It looks a little bit gritty. There's a very gritty theme going on with this, but it's also done in like a comedic way. Kind of like a Who Framed Roger Rabbit
Exactly.
style.
No, yeah, exactly. That's what it kind of gave me the vibes. So the Pokemon themselves kind of have this hyper realistic look to them, you know, like it's like they look realistic, but they also look, you know, like not, you know,
kind of in a weird, gross way, but in a way that I like it.
I personally like it a lot. Actually, I was checking them out because I remember there's a like a CG artist online who does these hyper realistic versions of everything. Like he'll do like cartoon characters and like, you know, Pokemons mm-hmm. and just like this is what he thinks it would look like. You know, like there's one where he did like SpongeBob has like all the nasty pores.
Oh yeah, it's gnarly.
You know, so like I think it kind of gives me those vibes. Yeah, your cat's fucking tweaking out. It gives me those vibes, and like I like them all. I think the one they nailed the best was Pikachu.
Yeah,
like he's solid.
Pikachu's great. Greninja looks great.
I like Mr. Mime a lot.
Mr. Mime looks killer.
The
but
two biggest issues are Jigglypuff and Charizard.
Yeah,
right?
Jigglypuff looks fuzzy, mm-hmm. which I mean, I get Jigglypuff being fuzzy, like, you know, it's got the little curl of the hair.
It for sure has hair on it, but I didn't know it was that much hair.
Right?
I guess
it looks weird.
There's some liberty with the name. Maybe like they said, well, it's called Jigglypuff. We'll just make it a ploofy thing.
Yeah,
kind of looks like one of those like a troll doll or like a Furby or, you know.
Yeah, I get those vibes for sure.
And then Charizard.
Yeah, I have a personal problem with Charizard. Other people might not. They're like, oh yeah, that looks kind of like a dragon, sure. Mm-hmm. But in my book, it's Charmander, mm-hmm. Charmeleon, and Charizard. Mm-hmm. Charmander is a salamander, mm-hmm. and then it turns into Charmeleon, which is just a chameleon play on words. Yeah. It's still in that same kind of like, you know, lizardy type family, but it started out as a salamander. And then Charizard is, you know, you're hearing that Zard, that lizard mm-hmm. thing going on. So
they went too heavy on the lizard, I think.
Yeah.
I think it would have been cool to smooth him out a little bit, because I do agree with that salamander bit. Like he would evolve, but he looks a lot like a burlap. No, like a burlap, like a fucking leather bag. Like, you know, just super wrinkly, and it's just like, it's almost too much.
Well, because like when fucking Smash Bros. Brawl came out, they had Squirtle, Ivysaur, and Charizard. Mm-hmm. And I felt like they gave them like a more intense look than they look in the cartoons or mm-hmm. in the video games or whatever. They looked a lot more detailed and ways that I felt like were kind of realistic and anyways,
it wasn't too ham-fisted. Yeah,
this went a little bit more realistic. They went realistic on like weird parts of it,
sure.
I didn't. Yeah, it just didn't click for me. I mean, that being said, it still looks fucking great.
I mean, there's still yet to see what the actual story is and like what happens and how many Pokemon there are in it, because obviously they're doing multiple generations. But
that being said, of everything we listed, we have Greninja because Ash Greninja was such a fucking huge thing. And then we've got Pikachu. Everyone fucking knows Pikachu. You got Bulbasaur, one of the starters. You've got Charizard, one of the starters. You've got Jigglypuff, an iconic character from the original Pokemon series. And then you have Mr. Mime, which also was an iconic character.
So was Psyduck, right?
Yeah, Psyduck's in the background for like a minute. Huge iconic characters. But we're not really seeing much extra stuff yet.
For sure. There's way more to be seen with stuff coming out.
Oh, there was a Dodrio, I think, actually. That was in the foreground.
Oh, the two-headed bird?
Three-headed.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay. Dodrio.
Sorry. One thing I do like about so far, just kind of like in general, I like the size of them, like the scope of them.
It feels realistic. Like they have the scales correctly.
Exactly, because like every now and then, like I remember playing the game back in the day, they didn't really like
it's hard to imagine.
It's hard to see it, and then sometimes you kind of read like stats, and it's like this Pokemon's just like, wait, how big is this fucking Pokemon? You know, like
I love seeing how big they are and being like, and it weighs 1 kilogram, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Like what Pokemon specifically is like just super massive, and like what? It's like it's big.
Wailord doesn't weigh much, I think.
No, but like I'm saying, like there's like I think a Gengar is just like is like really big in my opinion. That's the one that has like he's like evolves from a Ghastly, right? The last version of Ghastly, right? Yeah. Like he is so big in my opinion. I think he even might be bigger than a Charizard. I was like, really? Like is that right? It's like
there's like weird fucked up dimensions that I mean it makes sense, but it's also something that we're not really used to.
But from what we've seen, I like the way like what the scale is. Like I like how big Pikachu is compared to like the human that we see. So far so good, and I'm really excited to see this whenever it drops.
Dude, for sure. That's all the news that I got for this week. So unless you got any fucking bombs to drop on me, that's it.
No, man, that's all there is to it.
All right, bombless. Toy.
Nice. So this week we're going to talk about The Red Turtle, right?
Yep.
Which is a movie by somebody.
Studio Ghibli.
And somebody else.
Studio Ghibli.
No, it's Studio Ghibli and some French-Canadian studio.
Are you sure? Because I'm pretty sure it's still Studio Ghibli.
It is Studio Ghibli. With like somebody else to help them. We talked about this. Don't fucking be an asshole.
It's just like a satellite studio.
Really? I thought it's a different studio. That's a second studio.
I don't know.
You have to look it up because I'm not going to move until you look it up. Fucking piece of shit. Some fucking bitch.
It's not showing up.
Well, fucking anime's canceled.
Yeah, pretty much.
Rest of the year.
There are like a lot of forum things on because normally I go to my anime list. Normally I go to my anime list to look shit up, but it's it's not really working out the way that I want it to.
It's all good. Don't worry about it. So this movie is like an hour 20. We watched it the other day. What's funny is that we had to rent it on Prime or something.
I had to buy it.
You had to buy it on Prime. How much was it?
$13
totally
or something.
Worth the 12, 13. No, I mean. I liked it.
It was
From
good.
what I can say, I liked the movie. I knew we were gonna get something different. Like I don't know, like it almost didn't feel like an anime. It felt like one of those like independent movies that you see like in at a festival or something. It was like it looked really cool. The art style was different, and then like there was also like very minimal, almost no like dialogue, which is like something when we started, is like, hey man, you make sure to put the subtitles on. He goes, and you said, hey man, there's like no words in this, don't even worry about it. And I was like, there gotta be some words, and there weren't technically words. There was like times where the characters would yell things, like out of rage or frustration, or they would yell hey. But I feel like even if they played that in like in a Japanese place or like or a different country, they would understand what they're trying to yell. Just this ambiguous hey or no or whatever. So
yeah. So this is the fucking confusing thing about this is that I don't know the studio specifically that worked on it, but it's co-produced by Wild Bunch, which is a German studio, and Studio Ghibli. And it's in association with Why Not Productions. So it's like a bunch of things, but I know that Studio Ghibli saw the original short animation, was like, we fucking like that. Keep doing that shit. But I felt like for some reason it was like a French Canadian studio. I might be totally fucking off base, but I'm having a really hard time finding it on like my anime list.
Yeah, don't worry. My anime list is doing us dirty. Like they're always doing us dirty.
Yeah, always dirtying the fucking waters.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about the plot, right? Is that cool?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the movie starts off with our main character washing ashore to an island. And I was like, oh, cool, this makes kind of sense. And we see him kind of looking around the island, and he's like investigating, and again, no dialogue, and he's just kind of walking, and it looks really cool. The animation is just, it reminded me of like old school Tintin. I was saying like the art style is super simple, I feel like, but the backgrounds are really, really nice and really detailed.
Yeah.
And so our character spends some time like looking around the island, and he kind of realizes, hey, he's alone on this thing, and I think he kind of does the thing that like most people who were trapped on an island would do, which is like they look for water, look for food, they kind of investigate. And then he kind of just gets really sad because he realizes he's not fucking going anywhere. And time passes, and the only way we know time passes is because like he gets a little tired looking. His like facial hair starts growing out. His clothes starts getting more worn. There's a bit where he falls into this like cavern on the edge of like a cliff kind of thing, which scared the fuck out of me.
Yeah,
like I physically felt kind of like just like uncomfortable because like I knew that, oh my god, this is gonna be a bad time. He falls in this cavern. There's like these super slick rocks, and he can't come back up. And he starts swimming down, and he sees like this like little gap, and it's like, oh no. And like for people who have like are claustrophobic, and I don't think I'm claustrophobic, but I for sure don't like the idea of like squeezing through a really small,
because you can't see the exit point. You just see like, I know that I could go in there, and it's going to be difficult to try to get through it, and I don't know what's on the other side.
I think that's a really spooky part. And I'm a bigger guy, so I'm just like, I imagine like, oh man, to know that that's my only way out, right?
And that you can't turn back.
So he goes through it, and I really like this part of the animation because like the tube or like the trail of it is like that he's going through the waters like is on the screen, and we can see like just the rocks on either side of the screen. So it's like it encapsulates that feeling of being like squished. And so he's going through it, and he gets a little bit stuck, and I'm just like, oh no, he's gonna lose his breath and get caught, and he's gonna drown or whatever. And he gets through, and he's like, cool, learned my lesson or whatever. And then he grabs the thing he was looking for, which is like a fucking barrel, and then it instantly breaks. Right?
It just sucks.
And so that's kind of like the stories at the beginning. And he starts doing stuff like building a raft, which is, I feel like, also a very smart, more realistic thing of what a person who's trapped would do on an island.
Right, just like, well, I need to get off. I know where I can get food and water just to survive for now, but I have to get off this fucking raft. So
he starts building a raft. It's kind of it's in decent size, and he pushes off or whatever, and he's getting away from the island, and then all of a sudden like something bumps the bottom of his raft and bumps it a couple times, and he just destroys it. And every time he looks in the water to see what it is, he didn't see anything, so he kind of comes back. And so he's kind of just like on this repetitive thing of like, build the raft again, build the raft, and he builds it a couple times, and every time it gets progressively bigger, and time has passed. He's getting more and more tired. He's become friends with the crabs,
which is fucking weird that they're like the only things with a ton of personality. Like, even the people at this point don't have as much personality as the crabs.
Yeah, the crabs are like, what's he do? At one point he feeds the crabs, and all the crabs come up and grab like the coconut and run away with it. I was like, this guy's never fucking seen a crab.
No, that was like a total nod to Spirited Away.
Was it? Okay, yeah.
It definitely felt that way to me. At least like giving little like treats or whatever to all the little like puffball,
the ash things or whatever. It felt like super like me. We were laughing. We were just like, they don't know what crabs are like in fucking Japan.
They've never seen a crab. Don't fucking act like anything. They don't have personalities. They're the most like personality-less motherfuckers.
And there's like 4 of them. They're like kind of a cluster of friends. Like crabs fucking hate each other. Like crabs fight all the time. So he keeps doing this thing where, building the raft. He finally builds a raft that's fucking massive, in my opinion, too big for his own good. He gets out there, and he finally sees what's bumping his raft, and it's like this red turtle. And he gets super mad. He starts fighting it, like trying to fight it away, and he gets his raft fucking destroyed. He gets super bummed.
Super weird too that like it seems like he did a decent job, and then he gets it all fucking destroyed in just a matter of seconds. It gets bumped twice, and it's all like completely destroyed.
Mind you, this is a red turtle, and we all know the red turtle shells track, their fucking things. It's hard to evade them. It's not a blue shell.
No.
It's not a green shell. It's a red one. Okay.
Yeah, it's different.
So he gets back to the island. He is super pissed. And the fucking red turtle has the fucking gall to go up on the island with him. And he does something that was super fucked. I remember seeing this and be like, dude, this is fucking cold. I get it. He's upset. But he grabs a fucking thing and hits the turtle on the head, I think a branch. Then
I was like, whoa.
I don't know. I'm like, ooh, that's kind of violence towards animals.
This is fucking weird.
Right? And then
because you could watch Princess Mononoke, for example, where he's fighting spirits of the forest. He's shooting a giant hog or whatever. And you're like, but it's super covered in demon shit, so that's evil. Fine.
And this is just a turtle. I'm just like, ugh. Yeah. And so then he also flips the turtle over, which is super fucked. Because
this is a realistic way to fucking
kill a turtle.
It's the most fucked up way.
He also jumps on top of it and jumps on him to sink him down in the sand. I was like, man, this is fucking brutal. Also, the turtle, when we first see him, his animation looks a little bit different than the other ones, right? It almost looks like it's 3D kind of is. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
You can just tell there's a difference. So he, beaches this turtle essentially, and then he just goes back to building his raft. And then he has a dream, and then he feels bad about doing what he did to the turtle,
Yeah.
And so he starts trying to bring it back to life and give it water and stuff. And it's obviously too late. This turtle is super fucking dead. And he puts I think he doesn't put the thing over yet, but he tries to bring it back to life, and then he sees that the turtle shell cracks down the center.
Yeah,
which
it just kind of pops open. And
which is super creepy.
Yeah,
and then he leaves and comes back, and he sees that the turtle, which would be the turtle part of it, has turned into a woman.
Yeah,
and he's been hallucinating before. He's been on the island for a while now. He's seen shit. So you and I are led to believe maybe he's just also lost his mind. Maybe he's seeing things. So he starts trying to bring the woman back to life by giving her water, and then he puts up some sort of shelter around her to hide her from the sun.
Yeah.
And time passes, and eventually the woman wakes up, and she goes back into the water, and he gives her his shirt, and he feels kind of guilty, without saying anything. He feels guilty about obviously bonking and killing this turtle in quotations.
So he starts trying to help the turtle back up, and
they kind of start building this relationship where they'll show each other stuff, and they're friends. And she takes him out swimming. She shows him where the oysters are, and he still feels guilty about what he did. And I guess she forgives him somehow. It's just kind of implied that hey man, it's cool or whatever. And they fall in love, I guess. Just kind of.
That's what happens, man. Then they fly in the sky and they make some love, and then they have a little baby.
Yeah, and I was like, oh cool, that's the thing. Nope, there's still plenty of time. So then we see a really cute little baby, half turtle, half human. He looks like a human, but he obviously has to be some half turtle or something,
Yeah,
and he's
in a way.
He's bopping around. He's got really cute animation to him. And he's being taught things by his parents. His parents are they'll draw stuff in the sand to explain things to him, And then he falls in the same cavern, that his dad did. And his dad's super fucking worried. And mom's like, no, let it. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Because apparently the baby can breathe underwater, right?
Yeah, don't worry about it. Or I don't know if we're led to believe that the baby can breathe underwater, or because
it can swim really well.
Turtles can't breathe underwater.
Yeah. Maybe he can just.
So I think he just has a really good lung capacity.
Because he goes down there. He's like, oh, fun. And he, makes his way out the same way his dad did. But luckily he's a baby, so we don't have to feel super uncomfortable about it.
Yeah, he just fucking swims like no big deal.
And then more time passes, and we see, that the child has now grown up and is more mature.
And now he has 3 turtle friends that he swims with sometimes.
I like that. They're like, hey man, they just kind of show up yo, can Ricky come out and play? And they're like, yeah, Ricky just finished his homework. He can come out and play. No big deal.
All right, cool.
He just goes swimming with the turtle boys. He's like, all right guys, I'm gonna go back home later. Peace. It's like he's what's the word? He's biracial or whatever. It's hey, I get you're human, but every now and then you gotta go hang out with some turtles. You gotta remember where your roots are or whatever.
True.
And more time passes. We see the turtle getting older. I mean, not the turtle. We see the boy getting older, and this is a really fucking out of nowhere scene. I feel like all of a sudden, we see a bunch of birds in the sky, and everybody's like, "Oh, there's birds in the sky. Oh, that's kind of weird."
And he starts jerking off to him.
No, that's what you did.
Oh shit! I mix reality in this movie all the time.
We see all the birds in the sky, and they're like, and then we see the water recede, and it just keeps pushing back more and more, and people are, and you and I feel like it's here was they're something bad's gonna happen.
Yeah, we're just ooh, big uh-oh.
And so then a big old wave comes through and fucking decimates just the fucking island that they're on, and just wrecks shit, and people completely people are running away, and something caught up in it, and the son survives, and he finds his mom and she has like a broken leg, and she's like, okay, like I'm okay, go find your dad or whatever. And so then he swims out with his turtle boys hella far into the ocean, I feel like, and he finds his dad like holding on to like one log. I thought he was gonna be dead. I was like, that's gonna be fucking super sad time, you know?
Yeah, you know.
And he found him, which is nice, and he, you know, brings him back home, and you know, his mom and dad get like, you know, see each other again, and they hug each other, and they're super happy, which is super sweet. And then, you know, life kind of goes back to their normal life. You see that they start like collecting all the dead wood and burning it, and you can see that they've planted new trees where the old trees were, and you know, just trying to get back to like the way things were, you know. And the turtle boy has like I guess he just realizes, you know, it's time for me to go. Like he sees like the relationship that his parents had. He was like, I need that. It's my turn to find that. So
like, well, I'm just gonna peace with these turtles, and
without like saying much, he's able to like, you know, see his parents and just kind of give them that look, and the parents like they understand like, oh, it's time for you to leave the nest, you know.
That being said, nobody said anything.
So. Right? This could have been a good time to say at least some words or whatever, you know, but they just
didn't. Like, hey,
time to go.
Bye.
Yeah, or I love you, and like we love you too, or whatever, some shit like that. So he bounces out with his turtle boys, and like, you know, the mom and dad are now on the island, and they have aged significantly. I feel like the dad, the human, you can see it, like he's like really gray and he's kind of slowing down, and the mom is also like, her red hair is now gray, but she looks better, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, the fucking dad dies on the beach. The mom wakes up in super sad time, you know.
It's like, fuck.
Yeah, because
had to happen at some point.
Well, yeah, you know, turtles live longer than fucking humans.
Turtles live longer than anything, if I am making up facts right now.
And this is the part that really kind of tripped me out. So she's like laying next to the dead body, and she's like holding his hand or whatever. Oh, come on, get out of here, cat. He's like holding his hand. The
cat is now attacking the mic stand and the cords. So sorry about that, everyone.
No worries. And so she's like holding his hand, and then like there's like some sort of like lapse or whatever, like some like dissolve, and like her hand turns into a turtle flipper. It's like, oh shit, she had the ability to be a turtle whenever she wanted to, and then she kind of goes back into the ocean, and that's the end of the movie. You know, that's just how it all ends. It. And it was interesting to say the least. Like,
it was a little bit long-winded, but I feel like it never entirely felt that way.
Yeah,
because I mean, it's an hour and 20 minutes, so it's not like it's a long movie or anything.
No, yeah,
regular length. But I feel like for no dialogue and not a lot happening, they did a pretty decent job of keeping me interested. But it wasn't the most interesting thing.
I for sure was, I guess like.
I was very captivated.
That's the word. I was captivated, and I feel like a lot of the captivation that I had was mostly due to the animation.
Yeah, just that's what I was just going to say.
Because of the way it looked, the way they made things move.
Right. Well, they combined that 3D with 2D, and there were a lot of parts where you could tell, like, all right, we animated this all bunched together, and we animated this all bunched together.
There's parts where he's like running through, like he was like walking through or this running
bamboo
through
forest.
Bamboo forest. I was like, I can tell that this is just like a film on top of something. You know, like there's like they're layered through, and I like what
it looked good.
Like what a smart way to get around like doing all this stuff, you know.
Well, of course, you know, it's not like they did it for a stylistic choice. I don't feel like they got away with it.
It's not like they were trying to like save some time or cut some corners. I was like, wow, what a my mind has like, wow, that's really smart for them to be like, we're gonna do these differently.
And they even had a part where they were in this little field, like a wheat. I don't know, it wasn't wheat, but there was like tall dead grass. Yeah. And they were just pushing down all the grass everywhere that they moved and walked, and they were carrying some melons, and they dropped the melons in the grass, and you could see like the points where they dropped it, and they did a really good job at animating that. I felt
absolutely no. I feel the thing I liked most about it was the animation. It was the style. I mean, the story wasn't anything too like crazy. It was easy enough to follow along. Dude ends up on an island. Dude falls in love with turtle. Dude has family with turtle. Turtle leaves the nest. Dude dies. Like that's
classic.
That's all there is to it.
And that's an American story right there.
Exactly. I mean, it's for sure very like independent vibe. A very like a like a what's the word, like a story that you would see like an old folklore. I feel like for like some sort of like not American culture, some sort of other culture.
This feels like some weird ass shit that people like pass down these weird ass stories and whatnot.
Like, the story of the man and the red turtle and how man fell in love with turtle or whatever, and turtle turned out to be human or whatever. It's like this weird. It felt like something like that, like something. And like,
it's just like, and the meaning of the story is this weird shit.
Yeah.
Except in this, I didn't come away from it like, yeah, I get what it was trying to say.
It was really weird, right? Like I don't feel like if there was like some sort of message or theme, I was like, I
missed it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's hey, love your family, and then when they have to go or whatever, something like that. But it's just like, it's really weird to be like, this for sure cut and dry meant this, because I feel like there's
not even like much interpretation. I can't really extrapolate much from it because I'm watching and I'm like, well, these are all the things that happened, and I mean, death doesn't symbolize anything in this, and I feel like leaving the nest doesn't symbolize anything, because it was kind of just like, all right, well, this kid's got to go now because, I mean, he wants to see the rest of the world and I can't blame him. And then the mom clearly is just a turtle, so she's already seen a shitload of stuff. Mm-hmm. And then the dad has seen a shitload of stuff too because he's been out and doing whatever. And he's just happy to be with his wife and his son. And the son goes off and like, whatever. I mean,
What I thought was super weird is that, like, just because of, watching this, he was so adamant about leaving the island,
Yeah, he was like, I'm fucking leaving.
He hates the place that he is. He yells, we do hear him yell at points. And for him to find out that the turtle was the thing that was deterring him from leaving, because I don't know why, but she just did not like his raft.
Well, that was the deal with it, right? Where you're just like, well, why
are you being a bitch or whatever,
Right? And then the fact that the turtle comes onto land, it's just like slowly pushing its way up the sand, which they did a good job at making the turtle look like it was realistically struggling to like move on land. It was so weird for it to be an actual turtle, and then instead of being like, well, what the fuck is this turtle doing on land? This is weird that it's coming up for whatever reason. Instead, he was just like, fuck this fucking turtle. And then it turned into a woman. I'm like, was the turtle trying to go and like turn into a woman somewhere specific? Or what, did it have no intention of doing that?
Yeah, was it always going to be a turtle?
Right.
Did it never intend to reveal itself as a human to you?
Right. And then when it became a woman and it took its shell and it pushed it off into the ocean,
what was that all about?
Then he pushed off his raft, and I'm like, oh, okay, I get why they each had to push something out.
Yeah.
But why did she decide to stay there?
Exactly.
For him, and he just tried to kill her.
Don't you need the raft now? Yeah.
I was really confused by little parts, but I feel like overall they had to do some stuff in order to make the story more believable. I was like, yeah, I get that this guy would be fucking mad at a turtle and want to kill it, but also like him having regret. Like I also got that
fucked
too.
Up. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they did a really good job with that little part. Because, I mean, you're going fucking insane on this island. You're fucking mad that this turtle's preventing you from, like, getting away. Sure, I get it, whatever.
But to fall in love with it and be like, let's start a family?
Yeah, and for the turtle to be like, yeah, man, I love you.
Kind of a stretch, right?
That part took me away from the story a bit. I can believe the magic part. I can't believe the falling in love part.
Yeah, exactly. They fell in love real quick. It was more like, oh man, you have a vagina, I have a penis. God, I gotta fucking do this, man.
There's only one way.
I gotta fucking do this. I know I tried to kill you, but now let's have a kid or whatever. I kind of would have liked, I mean, just for me, I would have really liked if the way it would have gone was like, maybe they start their family and maybe like the boy's getting older, maybe the boy's like asking about what the real world's like, and then they make the decision to, okay, let's leave or whatever. Let's try to go. And then maybe some tragedy happens,
Well, it could have been, they could have done so many different things. I don't really know what the story was, but it could have been like a really interesting story about man versus nature. And then it turns into an interesting story about like family and a weird family with weird issues.
It's weird dynamic,
and then we could have followed the boy to somewhere else, and it could have been a coming of age story. And then it could have tied it all together again with like family and loss and like moving on and acceptance.
It absolutely could have been something about like, learning about like who you are, and not trying to hide what you are and be like, look, I'm half this and I'm half that. Because you made this funny joke, like, look, he was like, the joke was, if there are two different like was it like people and they spoke different languages, right?
Yeah.
And if they had a kid together,
this was a legitimate question that I was thinking of.
This was a good question. Like the question is like, two different people have, they don't speak the same language. Like say one spoke Spanish and one spoke like English or whatever, and neither of them by any capacity was able to learn the other one or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, clearly you could understand, like, I'm thirsty. Like
you could mime it. What I'm saying is, like, and then your question was, like, if say they would have to have a kid or whatever, would the kid grow up to be bilingual and be their translator or whatever? Yeah. And, like, it's like, yeah, we kind of deduce it. Like, because obviously we don't, there's no way for us to prove this. Like, we figured that, that the kid would probably learn both languages, but they would probably be taught some sort of amalgamation and being like, look, this word means this is what I call it. This is what they would, with the time passing, they would be able to create some sort of way to communicate, So it was super cool because, like, obviously they did create a way to have a way to communicate, which was like with the sand or whatever they would draw. But apparently the homie knew turtle because he swam with the turtles and he hung out with them.
Yeah, it was like that little thing that I was like, I wonder about this, and then they were just kind of did it in a way.
Yeah, they just kind of, and it wasn't unbelievable. It was like, oh, cool. It's like this is, I can grasp this. It's not something that I'm like being like, this is odd, because I figured like they would learn to communicate in some shape or form.
I was really hoping that at that point they would have the different languages. Like once they had the kid or whatever, then we would have our main characters start speaking. Because the whole time, being on an island, being frustrated, just yelling and stuff totally makes sense. You don't have to say anything.
Yeah.
For me, I would be saying shit, talking to myself, just because that's the kind of person I am. Like, I don't talk to myself that much in my own time, but I feel like if you're alone for long periods, you do say shit. Or like you'll be reading something and you'll think like, what? You'll say certain words, and this dude said "hey," and that was pretty much it. And I'm like,
yelled "no" or whatever.
Yeah. But so he has the capacity to say more words, but he never did. So I felt like we were about to get it, and then we didn't.
Yeah, it would have been cool if at some point you'd be like, "Wow, there's this other creature, or other person here that I can teach this language to, and be able to, spread this knowledge and have some sort of dialogue." But then it was just like, maybe he just didn't give a fuck, I do think that would have been cool. I do think it would have been cool if the turtle, boy would have left, seeing the real world, seeing like the turtle world, and I don't really fit in here, like, or seeing the human world, I don't really fit in, and then come back home and be like, hey man, it's kind of a combination of the two or whatever.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that our ideas are better than the movie that we got. I'm just saying that there were things that I just didn't get as much as I hoped to. So I feel like overall, I don't know what they could have done to make it a better movie specifically, because I'm no fucking expert at this, but I think that we had some interesting ideas that I would have loved to seen them explore a little bit with it, which just shows, because you're not going to be like, man, they should have done this shit about like something shitty and then really think about the different things. These are things where I'm like, I really enjoyed this for specific reasons. Overall, I just thought the movie was okay because it lacked certain parts, but there were parts that I was really engaged with. And I'm even thinking to myself during this movie, like, I wonder if this thing's going to happen. I wonder how that would work in the real world. And to have that kind of engagement, I felt like this movie accomplished a lot of good things, and it could have been better.
No, I agree. I like the movie most, like, first and foremost for the animation and the style and the way it looked.
Yeah, the second that you saw the main character's eyes, you were like, oh yeah, I fuck with this.
I really dig the idea of like this, what's it called? Like minimalism, Yeah. It's like, wow, he doesn't need that many expressions many features to express what he's feeling. It's like, wow, this looks really good.
Did it great.
Stylistically, great choice. Animation wise, awesome. And this is even for a fan who likes animation, not just anime, but just animation in general. And I feel like if I were to recommend this to somebody, it'd be somebody who appreciates animation,
Yeah, not somebody for anime.
Not an anime. I'm not gonna be like, hey man, you fucking like One Punch Man? You're gonna fucking love Red Turtle. Like that's
honestly, when I was looking up all of the because I'm trying to figure out like, how do the studios do it? And it turns out Studio Ghibli did a lot of production work, and just like, and by a lot I mean they like supervised the scripts and approved everything, and they were good. So they had a decent hand in it, and people like they were talking back and forth a little bit, but Studio Ghibli didn't have too much going on. They didn't touch the animation at all, which is why it's not on my anime list. So somebody had a thread of like, should I watch the Red Turtle or should I just not fucking bother because it's not anime? And I'm like, what the fuck? But okay, sure, whatever.
It's for sure animation. It's not like true anime. It's super cool. It's super cool for Studio Ghibli to be like, hey man, we can still, be impartial, to be like, hey, you want to make this cool story? Let's help you out. And for them to be like, wow, look at this great script. And then this other studio be like, nice, this is the style that we're going to choose to make. And they made it. Hats off to them. I think, like I said, I would recommend it to somebody who likes animation, but not someone who's like a huge like anime fan. Like, I don't think this is for them, but they could appreciate it. I appreciate it for what it was.
And by the way, earlier saying it was maybe French Canadian and then reading that it was a German studio or whatever. Well, it turns out that it was made by a French company. So not French Canadian, but straight up French.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
That makes so much sense that they have that like Tintin eye style.
Yeah, exactly. Because Tintin from over there? It's like
it's from France.
It's European as fuck. Okay, the one piece of animation that I liked the best was the sequence where he's dreaming about this bridge in the water.
Oh yeah, that looked pretty fucking good. It looked
really cool. Like he's dreaming, we see him see this bridge and he's super excited and he's running through it and then he starts flying. And I was like, oh nice, and then
their flying animation was great.
Yeah, and then he flips over and then he's like flying with his hands behind his back, behind his head, and then like it just like there's like a dissolve and then he's just like laying in the sand. I was like, wow, that was my favorite for the whole thing. It's probably one of my favorite bits. And like even something as simple as also like when they were like like dunk in like this glass container to get water. I thought it looked super cool.
Really good.
I really like this movie, honestly. And
that's good.
Not as an anime, but just as like a piece of animation. Yeah. I was like, wow, this is really cool. But that being said, someone could find it very boring.
Yeah. Well, you get some better story writers in there, and it's great because honestly, the sound design was fucking great. It was just like a really big musical piece. It didn't feel like, I don't know what to call it exactly. It didn't feel like a musical in a way. It didn't feel like a music video that was really long. But
it was no Shelter, I'll tell you what.
No, dude.
Oh, they should do Shelter, though.
We should review Shelter.
Though. No,
but there was, it felt more like I was watching kind of like an orchestra, like a concert or something like that.
The music, it was very, that had those vibes, There is a quartet at one point, and we're like, wow.
Right? I was like, cool. I'll fuck with that.
I'll fuck with the quartets.
No way.
No, yeah. I think, all in all, not a bad time.
No.
I like, you and I, since we're people who talk a lot, do appreciate, dialogue is something that's important to us.
True.
And I don't think it was a mistake to make this without dialogue, really. I think that if I had my druthers, right, I would have done it. Yeah, no dialogue. I would have made it a lot shorter because I feel like the lack of dialogue really hurt.
It makes it feel like
even longer. It was only an hour 20, but it felt a lot longer.
It felt like it was 2 hours easily.
Exactly. So I feel like good story. I mean, they could have gotten a better story. Choose to cut the time down just because you're having no dialogue, or put dialogue in there and be like cool with it. I would have liked it because I remember saying like, this guy's been on this island this whole time. He's not going to say anything, and then right after I say that, because he yells. Like, hey! I was like, oh, cool. Like he can talk or whatever. I was like, maybe he's a mute. Maybe that's the shtick or whatever. And it's like, oh no, he can speak. Okay, cool. So there is the capacity for dialogue. They just chose not to put it in there. Okay, that's fine. Let's see how they do. They told the story was able to be told. I was able to understand it.
Yeah. Well, you weren't able to understand the message, but you understood the story.
I get the story. Yeah. I mean, I told you like A, B, C. This is what happens. But I'm not like, I can be like, oh man, it was a real fucking. It was really telling us about the state of our nation right now. That's what they're going. I can't tell you what the deeper meaning was for it all. Yeah.
I don't really care to explore that either. I thought that overall the animation was great. The story was fine. And like, it was really interesting just in that it didn't really resolve.
No, yeah.
It just kind of all happened, which, I mean, that's cool. I'm really into that. I don't know if I've mentioned it on the show before, but there's like an indie movie genre called mumblecore, which is just a lot of dialogue, and it's a lot of, little things happening, and you're just kind of seeing a piece of some people's lives, not necessarily like an event, but you're just kind of watching some shit.
Never heard of that.
What about like Me and You and Everyone We Know? Mm-mm. You know that movie?
No.
In Cards Against Humanity, how there's that card that's pooping back and forth forever or whatever?
Sure.
Okay.
That sounds, I know of Cards Against Humanity. That sounds like a card that would be there. Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, that's from the movie Me and You and Everyone We Know.
Okay.
And it's one of my favorite movies, made by Miranda July. And it's just this whole thing where it starts out with a couple of kids sitting doing nothing. Well, it starts out with a dad like panicking for some reason. And then he comes in and he tells his kids like he's about to do something like really big. And they look at him from the computer like, okay. And then he goes on the front yard and he puts a bunch of lighter fluid all over his hand and then he lights it on fire. Right. And he thought it was going to be like you could just wave it and it goes out. But it turns out that he was thinking of like alcohol and not lighter fluid or whatever. Right.
Burns,
yeah. So he just burns the fuck out of his hand. That's how the movie starts. And the movie ends in a way that doesn't conclude anything. It's just kind of about him being divorced and like meeting some other woman, and they both do some weird stuff, and she does some art things and the kids do this other shit, and nothing really happens in it. And I fucking love it so much because it's just really interesting dialogue and really interesting characters.
Never really heard of that. I mean, the mumblecore is a thing. I've heard of like mumble rap. If that's what we're talking about. Like I know what that is. If I was wondering like, oh, maybe this is a genre dedicated straight to mumble rap. Yeah, get it. Yeah. Killed it. You're a rapper, dog.
I'm a mumblecore rapper.
No, so that's all there is really to it. If you want to see Red Turtle, go for it. Like it's not something that I think like needs to be seen. It's not something that you need to go out to see it. But I enjoyed it for what it was. I know Trip said he wasn't that bad, and
overall I thought it was all right.
I think it's something that I could watch with other animators and be like, hey, didn't you like this bit? Didn't you think it's snippy? I did that. But I don't think it's something I can be like, hey, guys, I watched this amazing movie over the weekend. Let's talk about it.
Well, it's also like if you were to watch a movie with animators, this wouldn't be like the first choice. You're like, all right, let's check out these like other amazing pieces. No, yeah, but this was an interesting artistic, like smaller studio take on.
That's exactly what that's the word. It's for sure is very artistic. It's very like, you know, like, oh, like, hey, you like art? This can be art too, you know, kind of thing. Like when people like, you know, music's my art or whatever, like, or like, you know, graffiti's my art, it's like tattooing's my art. It's like, cool. This is a good example of like animation is my art or whatever. You know, I feel like that hit it on the nose. That's what this was or whatever.
Yeah.
So cool. That's all there was to the Red Turtle.
P much, brah.
Yeah, bro. So cool. If you like our logo, hit up Aaron from TurbyTops.com.
Hell yeah.
If you like our theme song, hit up Tom Nasser.
Hell yeah.
He's on SoundCloud and YouTube. Nasser, N-A-S-A-R. N-A-S-R. I forgot.
That's fine.
Where can people find us?
You can find us on Facebook. Look up the Instant Ramen Podcast. Same thing goes for Instagram. Look up the Instant Ramen Podcast. If you want to find us on Twitter, tweet at Instant Ramen Pod.
Podcast Benefit.
And you could go ahead and shoot us an email, instantramenpodcast@gmail.com. We have so many other places that you could listen to us or like find us or whatever the fuck. We're just everywhere. It's weird.
For sure. So we haven't decided what we're going to do for next week, but we'll figure it out. Okay, well, Tripp's decided, but he hasn't told me.
We're going to do a special Thanksgiving episode.
Okay, cool. So this is bye from Juan.
See you around from Chris.
Hey, Trip, don't forget.
Just add hot water.